Welcome, Tarnished, and grab a snack. Something salty, perhaps, to match the tone of this tale. Morgott's story's not a sweet one. It's bitter, flavored with tragedy and irony, and sprinkled with just enough defiance to make it burn on the way down. Here, in the lands between, curses are handed out like festival favors, and Morgott drew the kind that came with horns shouting Omen with all the subtlety of a scandal in court. Born to Queen Marika and the first Elden Lord Godfrey, he should have been destined for glory. Royal lineage? Sure. But welcomed warmly? Hardly. And despite his royal blood, Morgott wasn't welcomed into gilded halls or golden thrones. No, his kingdom was the dank underbelly of Lindell, the sewers where the Golden Order stashed its shame. The Omen Baron and Omen Horns make it painfully clear how cursed children like Morgott were treated. Their horns severed, their bodies hidden, their existence tolerated only in silence. And yet, unlike his twin Mohg, who embraced the darkness with arms wide open, Morgott did something truly peculiar. He swore fealty to the very order that cast him out. Now, I'm not here to judge, bro. I'm just here to tell the tale. But dedicating your life to a cause that treated you like trash swept under a golden rug, that takes a level of faith, or self-loathing, that borders on the absurd. Morgott didn't just serve the Golden Order. He devoted himself to it with a zeal that could make a lesser lord blush. His curse wasn't a burden. It was a weapon. Honed into the cursed sword of Morgott, a blade hidden in plain sight as a staff, because nothing screams, I'm perfectly normal, like wielding a glorified walking stick while holding your horns under a hood. And when the shattering came, it wasn't Morgott who shattered. As Marika broke the Elden Ring and the lands between descended into chaos, Morgott remained steadfast. While his siblings scattered to carve out their own ambitions, Radahn ended up wandering the desert, and Rykard embraced serpents, becoming the Lord of Blasphemy, and Mohg built a twisted dynasty. Morgott stood his ground. He declared himself the Omen King, protector of Lindell and guardian of the Erd Tree, a tree that wanted as much to do with him as the Order did. Man, dude can't seem to catch a break. And therein lies the tragedy. The Erd Tree, much like the Order, wanted no part of Morgott. The Erd Tree Sanctuary, for all its hollow grandeur, whispered his rejection louder than any proclamation. But rejection didn't stop him. Morgott wielded holy light and cursed blood alike like a paradoxical warrior fighting for a cause that was colder to him than skinny dipping in a snowstorm. His love for the Golden Order was unrequited, but his devotion? His devotion was absolute. You first meet Morgott under a different name, though. Margit, the fell Omen. The shadowy gatekeeper cloaked and seething, barring your path to greatness. His taunts cut deeper than his blade, dripping with disdain for your ambition. Foul, tarnished, emboldened by the flame of ambition, it's really a cruel irony considering that ambition's the one thing Morgott denied himself. The Viridian Amber Medallion offers a quiet revelation. It's the same Margit standing before you, testing yet another wannabe Elden Lord. Eventually, though, the game was up. You persistent meddling Tarnished, made it to Lindell, and Morgott discards the mask. No more Margit, just the Omen King, horns and all, standing defiant before empty thrones and a forsaken Erd Tree. His declaration is as tragic as it is defiant. I am Morgott, the last of all kings. It's not just a claim, it's a plea, a bitter reminder that while his siblings abandoned the Golden Order, Morgott stayed and suffered, stayed and fought for a family, a faith, and a future that didn't want him. But for all his strength, all his defiance, Morgott's story ends as all stories here do. In death, defeated by your hand, he leaves you with a final gut-wrenching truth. The Erd Tree wards off all who deign approach. We are all forsaken. Not just Morgott, not just the Tarnished, but everyone. The Golden Order, the Erd Tree, even his own blood, they all turn their backs on him. His life's work, his unwavering faith, it all led here, to rejection, to despair, to death. And so, Tarnished, what do we make of Morgott? A king without a crown, a protector without grace, a cursed son clinging to a broken ideal? He wasn't a hero, but he really wasn't a villain. He was bound to a faith that gave him nothing in return. His story is one of bitter devotion, of unyielding loyalty to an indifferent cause. Now finish your snack and take this lesson with you. Morgott's tale is but one thread in the tapestry of the lands between. A thread frayed by tragedy, but woven into the greater design. And so, Tarnished, take your tale and run with it, because here, in the shadow of the Erd Tree, everyone has a story to tell. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Thanks for taking this journey with me. I can't express the gratitude that I have for you listening to this tale. And while it may not be the tale of Morgott that aligns with your version of him, it's this Tarnished view of him. Thanks for watching, and I hope your week goes wonderfully for you, until the next snack and story brings us together again.